Hello, welcome, beautiful, vibrant souls. I'm actually bumping things, sorry. Welcome to today's pick a card reading. So this is going to be looking at what kind of milestones, like spiritual milestones or tests have you recently passed. Now, I want to kind of put like a quick little caveat on this. First of all, this is inspired by the fact that Saturn is going direct on October 22nd. I have a little board nearby that has all the dates because time is an illusion. So it's going direct after being retrograde since, I believe, early June, late May, early June. And it's going to be going direct in the sign of Aquarius. So checking where you have Saturn in your chart, checking where Aquarius is in your chart might be helpful. All that good stuff. So this is kind of in response to that. Now, Saturn is the great teacher in astrology and often gives us, restrictions in the hopes that, Saturn is a planet that gives restrictions with the idea that learning to overcome those restrictions will teach us, it's worth its weight in gold, essentially. Like, the lessons we learn will set us up for future success, right? If we can still manage to achieve a goal, obtain success in a particular area, even with those restrictions, then we're really deeply learning and implementing and integrating the lessons that Saturn is trying to teach us. So when it's retrograde, this is a time to go inward and kind of look at that area of your life, wherever Saturn falls in your chart. And kind of figure out, what is working, what's not working, what is going toward like building you toward the future, and what's self-constructive and what's self-destructive, to put it very, very simply for the time being. Now, I do want to say that even though this is kind of in response to Saturn going direct, this is technically a timeless reading. So whenever you find this can still apply. And I also want to put one more caveat before we dive in here. I don't personally, and this is just my personal philosophy, I don't love the idea of talking about it like the universe is testing us, because I do think that that's a little bit dogmatic, at least for my taste. I don't really think that, I think it carries with it an element of an underpinning of punitiveness, right? Punitivity? I don't know what the noun form of punitive is at this exact moment. Might be. So, I think a lot of the times what happens is as we kind of change our internal frequency, we raise our vibration. This is something that starts within us and then it manifests out into our reality. But it doesn't happen overnight, right? So there's a period of time where we're going from one frequency to our new frequency. And in that kind of, transitional interim space, I think it's very, very possible to be attracting things from our old frequency as well as our new frequency, again, as we're kind of making that transition. And this is what can kind of give that element or feeling of being tested by the universe, right? Because we want something new, we're moving towards something new, we've taken those steps, we're doing the work, but we're not 100% there yet, and thus we still attract things from our past, attract situations that are very similar, we attract what we already know, what we've already done, as well as the new things. And this is kind of where I feel it gives the, excuse my hiccup, I was drinking coffee, and I still am. It gives that feeling of being tested. And I know it might sound like I'm splitting hairs with that, but I just kind of wanted to put it out there. There's no need to stress. I think sometimes when we can kind of talk about spiritual tests, it feels a little bit like a gotcha moment, and that's not the intention here. This is really meant to look at what lessons have you integrated, what spiritual tests are you either, soon to come upon, are you passing, have you made your way through? Just because when Saturn goes direct, this is a time where, whatever's kind of in our way, whatever is self-destructive, whatever is detracting from us learning our lessons, from moving forward, from completing old soul contracts or karmic cycles, because Saturn is the Lord of Karma. All of this is these are themes that we've been encouraged to sort of meditate on while it's retrograde, and when it goes direct, we're supposed to ideally take what we have kind of ascertained from that period of retrograde and move forward with more knowledge, more empowerment, more experience, more wisdom than we had prior. So this is really looking at what spiritual tests have you have you passed, or are you in the process of passing? So as usual, we have 3 options to choose from. Sorry, I have like a little 4-pack of tissues under my desk, and I keep bumping them. That's what that little plasticky sound is. Because your girl's got sinus problems, super bad. So yes, 3 options to choose from. We have group 1 with this blue apatite. Can you see? Yeah, there we go. We have group 2 with this plum blossom tourmaline. Look how pretty she is. And we have group 3 with this hemimorphite. I'm obsessed. So take your time, pause the video if you need to, meditate, contemplate on the stacks in front of you. When you have honed in on which of the 3 choices best resonates with your energy, you can head down to the timestamps in the description box below and head over to your selected option. And with that, I'm going to start with group 1. Oh, I'm dropping everything. I'm dropping everything. All right. Hi, group 1. Okay. So with the blue apatite, the first thing I heard when I put this stone on this pile when I was setting up was speak up. So there's something where I do feel like you're being encouraged to speak your truth. Some of you might have Saturn in either aspected in a really particular way with your Mercury, possibly in like Gemini or Virgo, but there's something here about communication in particular. So yeah, I do feel like this is going to be a time where, especially if you've been in a period of observing, because I'm just really noticing all the different facets of this little obelisk here. So again, it's kind of like this energy of you're just noticing, right? You're taking stock, you're taking note. If you've been in this place of observing, there's going to be an opportunity soon to share your wisdom. So while Saturn has been retrograde, this may have been a time where you've been kind of gathering, the last bits of information, kind of putting everything together that you've noticed or you've learned or you've seen, particularly in a group of friends or in a situation. So Aquarius, for me, since it rules the 11th house, Aquarius can talk about, yes, it talks about friends and community, but this always to me reflects more of like the people you do your spiritual work with. So this can be your soul tribe. This is, people that you're meant to build something with. These are the people who help you accomplish your life purpose, to me. And not saying other people don't, but just like even more so than the average bear. No, but than the average person who shows up in your life. So this might be where, especially if you have placements in your 11th house, any placements you have in your 11th house can reflect the position you take within a group of friends or within that soul tribe. So for example, if you have Sun in the 11th house, you might be destined for a position of leadership. If you have something like Saturn or Jupiter in your 11th house, you might be a mentor or a teacher, but just in very different ways and different roles, right? If you have Venus in your 11th house, you might be like the kind of the creative type person who kind of that's your thing. So whatever this is, and you don't have to have placements in your 11th house, I'm just saying, whatever this is, this feels like you're being prepared to kind of take the next step into the next iteration of your identity. There's something where you're being encouraged to share what you know, to share what you've learned, to share your growth, share your journey thus far. But that's the thing, is like speak up. I also was feeling like pretty calm when I kind of centered myself to start this reading. So I do feel like this is something where you've already done all the work for this kind of spiritual test, so to speak, and now it's just applying it, right? Like, maybe you've had the epiphanies you need to have, you've talked to the people you need to talk to, and it's kind of just a matter of like, you might have a presentation that you need to make now, or like you know what you want to say, and it's just a matter of like, gathering with certain people, right? Maybe it's like, oh, I know I'm going to see them at the end of October. I know I'm going to see them around the holidays. I know I'm going to see, whatever this is that you have things to say. And whatever this is, whether this is severing old karmic cycles, whether this is ending soul contracts, whether this is connecting with like-minded individuals, whatever this is, you have something to say, and it's just a matter now of like it being time to say it, right? And I feel like for a lot of you, either you already have a scheduled time, or you are figuring out, like, you're kind of deciding when the best time is to present your findings. So I do kind of see that there feels like there's a little bit of nervousness around communication, but there is resolution in the sense of like you are resolute to do this. You have resolved yourself, like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I feel like a lot of you are feeling much more confident in what you know, and it's a quiet confidence, but that's a good thing. So that's just what I was picking up on. But let's see what you have. You have, oh yeah, you guys are the only group that got 2 of these, by the way. So you have Hawk Spirit, which is 32, so that reduces to a 5. Let Spirit be your guide. Exactly. Wow, we have another 5 with Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. I'm loving that. All right. We have, ooh, Rowan with protection. I love this for you guys. Yeah, this is 11th house energy, friendship. I understand that friend is in my life for a reason. Absolutely. And turquoise with perseverance, the earth element. This is card 12. That reduces to a 3. This is also the birthstone for December. So again, very like, excuse my burp, very Saturn-y kind of energy, kind of like Cap energy going on here. I have cat fur. I'm sorry, I lint rolled this too before I even started. I'm going to pull tarot in a minute, but I want to start here. First of all, number 5 showing up twice, significant number. This has been after a period of a lot of changes, a lot of challenges. And what I feel like has been happening here is you've been being heavily protected and guided through this process. What I feel like this has been, when I'm saying challenges, I feel like it's like challenges with like a lowercase c. It's not things where they've been, you can point to like, oh, my life was upended here and here and here. These feel like these have been kind of more internal challenges, or like personal crises, right? Like a crisis of faith, or like, an identity crisis. But this is because you've been going through a rebirth, especially a massive shift in your consciousness. And again, the bat just hangs there and is observing. Bats also are nocturnal, and even though they are blind as shit, they have excellent sonar. So you've had to, again, you've kept an ear to the ground, which is interesting because we have that Hawkeye kind of energy. You've let spirit be your eyes, and you've kept your ears open. You've been listening and observing, right? Listening to all the things that are both being said and unsaid. All right, if that makes sense, like that are left unsaid. That's what I meant. They are being directly unsaid. Bam, take that. And I feel this has been difficult, especially with perseverance here in earth element. I feel like it's tough because on the surface, it might not look to many people like you've been going through it. Because this has been more internal, right? You may have gone through a lot of shifts in your friend group as well, or you may have had to lean on friends really heavily as you're going through shifts in other areas of your life. But any changes, any challenges that you've been working on overcoming, these have largely been internal. A lot of you as well may have had to surrender to spirit, right? Surrender to the idea of like, I know it's a bat, but it's almost making me think of a cocoon, like a butterfly in the cocoon. And I feel like a lot of you have just kind of surrendered to the fact that you're going through these changes and have had to kind of almost let spirit protect you, because the hawk is looking at this bat like, nobody touch my tiny, weird little winged baby. But spirit's been protecting you, right? And so this is why I feel like that's been tough, especially if you struggle to let go of control, or you struggled to be surrounded by people who are actually on your team and in your corner. I feel like, especially too, if you've been kind of purging relationships that aren't in alignment with you authentically, especially with that Aquarian energy, you may have been kind of really owning yourself and claiming yourself in a new way. And as a result, like this whole entire time, you've been very divinely protected. But I do think it's been hard for some of you because, like I said, this isn't externally, not a lot may have changed. But it's like, when it's that weird kind of juxtaposition where like your life is relatively similar, but 6 months or a year ago, you were a different person, and all the changes are internal. So when other people look at what has happened, it doesn't look like it's that much. It doesn't look like it was that, serious or catastrophic or life-changing, but you're a totally different person. And this metamorphosis is like that much stranger because you don't really share it with anybody. Right? This is much more internal. So a lot of you have been going through that, and I do feel like while Saturn was retrograde, you've been really reflecting on that. So I'm being called to pull cards about this friendship card, because I do feel like this is kind of at the heart of what the tests that you've been overcoming have been. And there's been like a lot of little things. I want to look at this card but not take it. Yeah, exactly. Spiritual partnership. What the hell were we just talking about? And the Six of Cups at the bottom. I feel like a lot of you are having to let go, because I'm noticing the man walking away here. Let go of things from your past. Let go of things from your childhood. You may be kind of moving away from, like, you could literally be moving away, but like moving away from people and situations that you've been close with in the past. You may have been finishing up a lot of old karmic cycles, past life soul ties. And this is in order to move into a completely fresh chapter. But with perseverance, I do see it's been difficult to kind of make your way through this. And again, especially if this has been like a quiet rebirth, I do feel like this group, it's been extra hard because you can't explain to somebody why things are different. Like, it's hard to put into words, but you feel different. You are different. You're in a different place in your life, and even if nothing on the surface has changed, internally you've changed so much. And that's almost harder than to have to explain to people why, like, things are different now, right? So you might be trying to kind of tactfully sort of like drift apart from people, and this is an issue with close, friends or family or something like that. They don't understand because they're not as tuned in. They're also not going through their rebirth yet, but you might be. So let's see what you have to clarify. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. Wow, the Ten of Wands reversed. And the Five of Swords reversed. Yeah, okay, so this is exactly it. I feel like a lot of you, you're cutting ties with connections that don't serve you anymore. And these are connections that with the Seven of Pentacles, they've been very long standing. You've invested a lot with these people. And it's good, right? This is where, you plant the seeds and it bears some fruit, but you're kind of like, I don't know. And normally, so this is a card of assessment. Normally when it's upright, it suggests that there's more to come. Like, your efforts will pay off. But just paired with these, there's these two little spiders in the window, like in front of me, and I don't know if they're dancing, if they are in love, or if they're fighting. I don't know what's happening, but I'm fascinated by spider theater. So anyway, sorry, I'm back on this planet now. Yeah, for a lot of you, I feel like you've been kind of deciding whether or not to persevere with certain connections or whether or not to just let it go. Just like cut ties and deal with the consequences of how they're, how they'll react. Because there's a lot of people where I feel like with these two cards, it's like, it's not bad, but you are going through this shift in consciousness. You're preparing for a new phase. And again, with that Six of Cups that we saw at the bottom, these are things from the past. So you might have a lot of fond memories with these people, or like a lot of like, attachment, a lot of like childhood ties, a lot of closeness, but they can't go where you're going. Yeah, I wanted to cut the deck and the Ace of Cups was there. There are new connections that are aligned with you spiritually that are coming in. And many of you, I feel consensus, and what's been going on for you has been, I feel like, quietly stepping back from these connections. And the reason why is because the people that you are disconnecting from, they are, like, again, not bad people, but they are still in this place where they are addicted to, with the Five showing up twice, they are addicted to chaos, right? And there are actually like psychological sort of reasons why this happens, but also spiritually, these might be karmic cycles that they're going through. Because if you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, you will know by this point most likely that I am a huge fan of the intersection of psychology and spirituality. So good stuff. I highly recommend it. So I feel like there are people who they are still kind of like either addicted to chaos, they're still stuck in these burdensome cycles of, triggering communication, triggering relationships, competitive relationships instead of collaborative ones. they are still in this very much 3D mindset about the relationships they'd like to cultivate. And I feel like you're at this place with the Seven of Pentacles, or you've been at this place where you're really looking at like, okay, do I really want to keep putting in the effort to try to explain myself to them, to try to bring these new concepts to them, like to show them there's another way to live, there's another way to relate to one another. Do I want to spend my precious time and energy doing that? Or would I like to just kind of do my own thing, you know, maybe be kind of hermit mode, go in my own direction for a while until, you know, like I feel like a lot of you have kind of been like, is there something more? Is there something else out there? And for a lot of you, because I split the deck and we had that Ace of Cups, the answer is a pretty clear yes. Like you're feeling called to go in a new direction for a reason. And you've been very watched over by Spirit in this process. Very, very protected. Like this hawk's not letting anybody screw with this bat, and we all know it. So this is what I feel like the test is that you've been kind of working on, right? Again, as you move into this new frequency, what you're being confronted with, sorry, I'm still bopping the stuff under my desk. All right, I moved it, so I will hopefully hit it less with my feet. But this is really what you've been kind of, you know, as you move toward this new frequency, what you've been letting go of, what you've been kind of separating out from is this old chaos consciousness, right? These old karmic cycles that perpetuate chaos consciousness where, you know, we are undermining our own stability. Again, it's that self-destructive habit instead of self-constructive habit. And so I do feel like you guys are moving more towards self-constructive habits, particularly in connections. And what you're moving away from with it, you know, with the test that you're passing, with this thing that you are moving through, is, you know, disconnecting, taking steps back, like slow steps back from people who are still, again, addicted to their own chaos, addicted to their own destructive cycles, right? And, you know, no shade, no shame. I say this all the time, but like we do our best, but we got to do what we got to do until we don't have to do it anymore, right? We all learn and grow in our own time. So no shade or shame to these folks that are in your life or that you're trying to kind of create some distance with, because we all have our own stuff that we're working through, right? We're all beautifully messy works of art in progress. So I really like this I love how clearly concise this is. I want to know more about what you're moving into. Almost like the deck just like ran away from me. Oh, it's this one. Bam. Do I take this one? Yeah. All right, cool. It happened to be on the top. The Chariot. So you guys might be moving to a new location, a new home. This could very much have to do with family, but this is victory, like victory, baby. And with the Black and White Sphinxes, this is victory because you are mastering an equal value and measure your light and shadow sides. So, yay! I'm very pleased for you. I could pick up these cards. That's what I need to master next. How to pick up my damn cards. Oh my God, I'm gonna pee my pants. Look at that. Ah, okay, Two of Cups, Eight of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay. So I know that this is reversed, but I'm almost feeling like this is kind of where you're in right now. And like, okay, see how the wands are heading toward it? I feel like this is about to change very quick. These are both kind of Jupiter energy. Well, excuse me, Sagittarius energy is what I meant. We have Jupiter here. This is Mercury in Sagittarius. So what you're heading toward, especially because we saw the Ace of Cups earlier, you're heading toward more fulfilling connections, friendships, you know, romantic partners, soulmates. You're moving toward your soul family, your soul tribe, exactly like we were talking about. This may very well involve travel with the Eight of Wands and the Chariot at the bottom. And it's like by moving toward this is taking you out of this Wheel of Fortune reversed energy, right? This is like, imagine the wands are smacking the wheel. They're they're moving it around here. So this could, for some of you, you might have a travel opportunity with new friends or new like soul tribe, and you're being encouraged to take that opportunity if you can. This is going to shift the wheel for you, right? This is going to be the thing to kind of get you out of this like funky energy. So you're being encouraged to do that. Now for others of you, this is coming in for you, right? So it's not like you need to take a step, you need to take action. This is coming in toward you, and this is going to be, you know, maybe like a member of your soul family, your soul tribes communicating with you, like, you know, rapid fire. Like, it's like a lot of creative ideas, like, let's go try this, let's go try that. But essentially you are having this like beautiful kind of shift in energy that is like turning things in your favor. Because I feel like in this cycle, you've been dealing with a lot of people who are like weighing you down, who are kind of, again, you're getting lost in this like gritty, nasty energy. And it's made it kind of like things have sort of almost slowed to a halt for you. And you may have noticed this, like the more time you spend sort of in your comfort zone, what you know, who you've been spending time with, the less growth there seems to be, the more difficult it is to manifest, the less things seem to flow. So that's a good indicator that something is not working. It's not for you. As if like the rest of your life seems to slow to a halt or slow to like a crawl. That's a good indication that's, if it feels kind of like, you know, because this is like, 10 of Wands, like you're carrying a lot of burdens, you're carrying a lot of energy, you're carrying other people's opinions, you're carrying having to like worry about how they feel about things, what you're gonna do, how they're gonna react, especially like if they tend to be kind of you know, poor communicators or immature when there's conflict. You know, they tend to be like really conflict heavy individuals, etc. So when this kind of happens, this will like, again, this will like, your life will kind of slow down a little bit because this is heavier, denser energy and you're getting bogged down in it. So this is like a good indication of like kind of, you know, if something, you know, also is if all the pieces seem like they're kind of falling into place, if you feel really excited and really good about an opportunity that's coming up, most likely from a new person or from somebody who's relatively new in your life compared to these people. So like if these were, let's say, family members or childhood friends, this would be like friends that you've met, can't talk. These would be like friends that you either have yet to meet and soon will, or like friends that you've met in the somewhat recent past. And maybe they're reaching back out again. They might be traveling to see you. They might be inviting you to travel or for some of you to move in with them. And it's like by engaging more with their energy, things start flowing again for you. So I think this is just about everything that I have for group one. This was really cool, really exciting. I'm very proud of you. This is hard work. You are being protected through this kind of rebirth energy and you're almost on the other side. So congratulations, because you're kicking ass. But yeah, that's all I've got for group one. I'm going to move on to group two, but I love you guys with my whole heart and then some. See ya. Bye. Ooh, my elbow cracked, not elbow, the other thing, shoulder. I was so close. You did it. Okay. Hi, group two. Okay, so I did like a weird little stretch like 2 seconds ago. And like put my arms up like behind my head. So there's something here where I feel like, because I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I feel like you guys are trying to get grounded, centered. I also sat up really straight so I could like crack my back and my sternum. But to me, sitting up straight is also like something where it's very strong and poised at the same time. So I feel like you guys are trying to regain your composure. Something, they're showing me like something like topsy-turvy. So something may have kind of like fallen down. Like there may have just been a lot of big shifts, right? And the plum blossom tourmaline can especially be about like restoring emotional balance, and like helping repair negative emotions or helping repair emotions, purge negative emotions. I was close. So I feel like you guys are trying to like, this is very much this feeling of like a tower energy. Like you guys are trying to like regain your composure. And if this is kind of resonating, I feel like this is likely for many of you, this has already happened. I feel like for the majority, if not all of you, this like tower event has already happened while Saturn was retrograde, and this has this energy of like you're having to put out fires, or kind of what I'm hearing is, what will you do, right? So this might be something where you had a tower moment during the period that Saturn was retrograde, and you have been challenged to rise to the occasion in that way. And I feel like many of you, you're out on the other side now, but you're kind of just like, whew, okay, hang on. Like you're kind of regaining your composure. So let's see what you got for your cards. You have Ooh, horse spirit. I don't know why I said it like that. Horse spirit. That was weird. But it's freedom is yours. Card 33. So we have a master number showing up, but this also reduces to a 6. We have, ooh, growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Hell yeah, you do. We have, oh, calendula, brighten. I always think it's a dandelion, and it is not. And then, oh, opal with north node and expansion, card 27, so that reduces to a 9. Sorry about the cat fur, by the way. I did lint roll it before I started, but you know how it is. Okay, so first of all, horse spirit always makes me want to say this. So some of you might be born year of the horse, or asking about somebody or dealing with somebody who was. Just because 6 is the number of, interpersonal relationships, balance, harmony, unconditional love, all of the better things that life has to offer. So some of you may have kind of been, this may have been playing out with another person, especially too because opal is the birthstone for October, which, at the time I'm filming, this is where we are. But it's also, as such, associated very heavily with love, because it's kind of that Libra-y energy. For some of you, you might have Saturn interacting with your north node in a meaningful way, like a powerful aspect. You could have Saturn in possibly in Libra or in Scorpio. You could also have your north node in Capricorn or Aquarius, or in the 10th or 11th house, just because those are usually Saturn's houses. So I want to comment on the fact that we have expansion and growth, right? And I love we have literally expansion with I want to expand. Like, that's beautiful. I love that. A lot of you have been going through a cycle. We have a 9 showing up, so you are at the tail end of it. I feel like the worst is over. And it's kind of like first of all, brighter days are up ahead, right? A lot of you have been really having to go deep about where you want your life to go. What will make you happy? What is freedom to you? What is growth to you, right? We have this box energy, but then we have this circular design that's expanding past it, right? So squares are, very much about stability and security, but the shadowy kind of side, if you take it too far, is that they can be restrictive, they can be confined, they can be stagnant. So I feel like for you guys, there's something where you had a comfort zone, you had a kind of sense of security, and whatever has happened is as a result of, these kind of these Saturn tests or these spiritual tests has been testing your resolve to grow past your comfort zone, right? And I feel for a lot of you, again, this was very difficult. This was there's again that energy of oh, holy shit, what just happened? And it's because I feel like a lot of you were in a situation where this was your comfort zone and it really served a good purpose. This is something where I don't feel like this is a comfort zone, this wasn't something that you elected casually. This is either you were playing a spiritual role that you had to play, or this is very much linked to a difficult past and your sense of survival, right? So it's not oh, I could go do this, but I don't, it's not like you're being lazy or you're just trying to sidestep growth. This was meant to give you a sense of stability, of safety, and of a sense of structure for this first part of your journey, or for a very long standing cycle. I'm getting at least 10 years. And now it's time to grow past that. And that's a process, right? Because again, it's not even even the circular design's not fully growing past the square yet. This is why I feel like you've made it past the worst of this, but you're still kind of recovering and processing or rebuilding for something new. But a lot of you have had to question, right? We have this portal kind of here. So you are heading toward your destiny. You are heading toward this next chapter. But a lot of you have had to really question the boxes you were keeping yourself in, right? You've had to expand past your limitations. I want to know more about this though. Because like group 1 was very like concise and spelled it out. So I want to know, what are these tests that you are passing kind of about? And it's, you know, these are really abstract concepts. They want me to take both. I want to look at this one but not take it. Yeah, High Priestess reversed. So your guides have been showing you the way this entire time, even if it doesn't feel like it. This is Pisces energy, so this can feel a little bit like bumping into walls. This also may be where you've made it past the worst of it, and now things are about to kind of like, the path will be brighter. You'll be able to see more easily going forward. But yeah, this feels like you made it through the worst of it, but there's still a little bit left to learn. Yeah, the Queen of Wands at the bottom and the Ten of Cups beneath that, because you're manifesting your ultimate happiness. And I think it might look different than what you had originally planned for yourself. Sorry, there's a stray hair. Or even like, this is something even like a year, 2 years ago, if you were thinking about what you wanted to manifest, it's different now because you've gone through this expansion process. So let's see what this looks like. Ooh, there it is. All right, Justice, 9 of Cups. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles. Holy shit. Sorry, Page of Cups. Okay. Ooh, all right, let's talk about it. Interesting, we have 9, 10, 11, by the way. So we have Libra energy here, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces with the Page of Cups. So for a lot of you, I'm going to say, this does have to do with a relationship, because we have, you know, Justice. This is, you know, Libra, so partnerships. And then we have like 9 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. This is very much about your happiness, right? You may have been tying up old soul contracts, old karmic contracts, because Saturn is also the Lord of Karma, and Justice can kind of talk about that. This could literally be where you've been dealing with the legal system, and it's been a lot to kind of cope with. This could be around, you know, issues with the family, a family home, custody issues. You may have been going through a divorce. But essentially what these challenges are, because I feel like it's going to be different for everybody, is expanding your definition of what it is you want, right? This is a wish come true, personal satisfaction. This is, you know, happy home, happy family, longevity. You know, this is fun, celebration, you know, emotional renewal. And what I feel like is happening is that during this period of time, it's really not even been so much like, it has been like a test, but it's been more about breaking down your illusions when it comes to what would actually make you happy and fulfilled, right? So this has been a period to break down illusions. And what I feel like this kind of test is about is saying, are you going to cling to the past? Are you going to hold on to what you thought you wanted because it's comfortable? Or are you going to entertain new possibilities? Doesn't mean that what you wanted wasn't meant for you or isn't going to happen, but it's asking you, is this what you really want? Because with this Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, so fire energy here, Aries, Leo, Sag, and this 10 of Cups, yeah, beneath that is the 8 of Swords reversed, no kidding. With those, you are manifesting your ultimate happiness, and this was kind of asking you, okay, I hear you. Is this what you want? So I feel like you've been going through these kind of cycles to ask yourself, like, is this what I really want? And this might mean a lot of breaking down illusions. I feel like this group, you've had your ass handed to you spiritually through these tests. So these could be, you know, separations. These could be strained relationships, right? This could be, you know, if you've really been wanting a certain job, you know, you're having to wait even longer for it. This also could be where it's like you're getting offered a contract that you've been wanting, but it's under different terms than you wanted. Or, you know, maybe this is like you get your dream job, but you're not getting paid what you want to for it. So you've been going through this period of time to really test what it is you thought you wanted, and break down any barriers to receiving that. I want to know more about that, breaking down barriers to receiving what you want. Oh, okay. Yep. No kidding. Ace of Cups, Devil reversed, 3 of Swords reversed. So for a lot of you, and then there she is at the bottom again. For a lot of you, this is about, you know, love, connections, maybe, you know, a really long-term relationship. A lot of you may have been asking yourself questions like, do I want to be on my own? You know, do I want to be with somebody else? How to maintain your individuality while being in partnership? Or, you know, how to create more things for yourself while also being in partnerships with others, right? Achieving that balance. And with the Devil reversed, and so we have more Saturn Cap energy. I can't remember if I said that. But with the Devil reversed and the Three of Swords reversed, you've been healing wounds and kind of, again, really deconstructing and reconstructing what it is that you want and the consciousness that you have toward what you want in order to be healed enough to accept this. Because I do feel like what you're going to end up manifesting is different than even like what you experienced, like I said, like maybe a year ago, or like I'm hearing for some people even 6 months ago, what you wanted to manifest. It's like, it's different than what you thought, and it's not necessarily a no, but it's kind of asking you like, this is the reality of the situation, right? We see this with, and like there's this potential for happiness, but with the Eight of Swords reversed, it might be a little bit different than what you had expected. So this is really saying like, okay, just making sure this is what you want. So I feel like you've already gone through like the worst of it, and now you're kind of like picking up the pieces and really deciding, okay, you know, I want this, I don't want this. I thought I wanted this, but I want it kind of like this. You're fine-tuning your manifestation, but that had to come from breaking illusions. And the freedom to manifest what you truly desire is yours now, right? Any karmic contracts have been, I'm hearing nullified, but they've been addressed, they've been balanced, your karma's balanced. So as a result, you can manifest what you want now. You can manifest your truest happiness now, and you've been doing the work necessary to ascertain what that is. I do feel like a lot of you are going to have, maybe not like a full-on decision point soon, but there's going to be a turning point where it's going to be really saying like, okay, are you sure this is what you want? And I want to know more about that. Okay. So the Ten of Wands and the Five of Swords reversed and the Six of Wands reversed. I do feel like for some, and there she is. For some of you, this is going to, and then I cut the deck, we have the High Priestess reversed again. This is going to really revolve around a person in particular, although there could be a couple people coming back from the past where this was a failed relationship, and you're going to need to decide where you want to spend your energy, what is worth it to you, right? For some of you, these people, this person was very combative, very difficult, and you're going to, you know, need to decide, is this really where I want to spend my energy, right? The Ten of Wands is a great card to kind of indicate that question. Where am I spending my energy? And really deciding if this is going to be a good fit for you. So yeah. This is pretty much everything I'm seeing for group 2. Seems like you've been doing some really amazing work. I hope this has been helpful for you. I think that's just about it. So yeah, I'm wishing you guys the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye. Hi, group 3. Okay, so I do feel a little bit calmer with your stone, but I do also feel like this contemplative energy. For a lot of you, I feel like your kind of like spiritual tests that you're making your way through is like incremental or drawn out. It's like instead of having like one big thing, like group 2 kind of had a tower moment feeling. Instead of one big thing, I feel like this is spaced out for you, or this is like a series of smaller decisions. So there's a little bit less like immediate pressure, but then there's, you know, it's just kind of more drawn out. And for a lot of you, I don't feel like you're all the way through this process yet. So let's see what you have. You have, yeah, exactly, Seahorse Spirit with Watch and Wait. That's 53, so that reduces to an 8. Imagination. I embrace imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Ooh, Pine with Preserve. And, okay, Spirit Quartz with Chiron and Healing. We have 33, so that is a master number, but it also reduces to a 6. So partially why I feel like there are delays with Watch and Wait, and I'm really drawn into Chiron and Preserve here as well to a certain extent, is that you're going through this massive healing, right? Chiron's the wounded healer, so it's the deepest area of wounding in our natal chart. So looking into your Chiron placement might benefit you really heavily. I do offer Chiron healing readings that do a deep dive into your personal Chiron placement, and then I pull tarot and oracle to get further messages about it from your spirit guide. So if you're interested in doing that work, I do offer that. It is a reading on my shop, and the link for that is in the description box below. But for a lot of you, this is really about where you've been on this healing journey. I think you're probably still on this healing journey, and there's something where with Preserve, I feel like for this group, you're kind of like you've maybe been doing boundary work a little bit, but you're kind of like holding back, right? There's like this barrier, and your feelings, your squishy heart and soul are behind this barrier, and that can be a really good thing, right? If you're really being reserved and trying to preserve your energy. I feel like a lot of you are being encouraged to kind of spend time in a creative outlet, as a way of like, a lot of you are doing like healing and self-expression here. I also feel like a lot of you have had a lot of really difficult, this is like a very watery kind of like emotional energy. So a lot of water signs could be here. You could have Chiron in a water sign. You could have Saturn in a water sign in your chart. But I feel like a lot of you you've been being encouraged to imagine a different life for yourself. This has very like light work or starseed energy to me. To imagine a different life for yourself. I'm just shuffling the tarot deck a little bit more. And especially the more you're investing in your healing, it's like, oh, yeah, because I cut the deck, we have the Hermit there too. You've been really encouraged to go inward. You might have been big time hermit mode. But I want to get more information about what this test is that you've been working through. Or like the overarching themes, because again, I feel like for many of you, oh, it's this one right here. For many of you, this is not just like one big thing. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles reversed at the bottom. A lot of you too, I feel like might be very sensitive to other people's energies, and you've been working on, again, putting your energy kind of behind a protective barrier in order to preserve your own energy. Because I'm thinking about the smell of pine, which I was just thinking about that this morning, which it's just really funny to me. But like, it's such a strong scent, and it's many people love that smell. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. But you could smell it from like a mile away, right? Like you know when it's there. So I feel like people are very drawn to your energy the same way. They pick up on your energy. It's very pleasant. It's very refreshing. It's very healing. It might have kind of like, the way pine makes us think about our Christmas trees, and it's kind of that like holiday energy. You might like be able to just like, people connect very sensitively and emotionally to your energy, and this may have been very challenging for you. So I do feel like you've been doing boundary work for sure. Ace of Pentacles reversed, yeah. The High Priestess reversed, and the King of Wands reversed. Okay, yeah, because with that Two of Pentacles reversed at the bottom, I feel like there's something where it's been hard for you to get grounded. It's been hard for you to move forward. It might be hard for you to kind of build something for yourself, because you can get thrown off by other people's energy a lot. And this is what I feel like you've been working on, right? There's this energy of like spiritual seclusion or protection. And with the High Priestess, I feel like you've been really, this is Pisces, so very sensitive, very spiritual. You guys are incredibly spiritually tuned, very empathic. And I feel like what this series of kind of tests has been for you has been about protecting your energy, because with the King of Wands reversed, this might be something where I'm almost getting this energy of like you might be able to just connect so easily with other people. It's like it's a mandate, almost a spiritual mandate to help them. Like, you're the kind of person that's not afraid to roll up your sleeves and like get your hands dirty when it comes to helping other people, particularly when it's being of emotional and spiritual service to others. You will run right toward it. You don't think twice. You don't bat an eye about, if somebody is sitting on a bench crying, you'll sit right next to them and ask them what's going on. Even if it's like a total stranger, you'll hug them. Like, you will be totally at their disposal, like totally open to them. And that's a beautiful thing. But I feel like what this has brought forward for you, and you do have, like I said, Ascended Masters working with you on this, is making sure that your energy is protected. Because for some of you with Chiron here, this comes in part from your experiences in life, you may have felt very alone. You may have felt very ostracized. Again, starseed, light worker kind of energies, empath vibes, where your frequency is very, very unique. And so you may have felt these really challenging emotions, these really challenging experiences, right? Knows, what it feels like to be alone, to be an outsider, to be, sad, to be lonely, all these things. You know what that feels like. And that's the thing I don't think we talk about enough with Chiron, is that part of why, this is something, your Chiron placement can reflect an area where you're great at helping other people. You are amazing at helping other people because you so intimately understand it, but struggle to heal it within yourself. So these might be things where in the past you've just gone charging in to help people because you know what it feels like to feel those crappy feelings, right? To feel that sadness, to feel that, that kind of icy touch of loneliness. It's like palpable with you, right? Pine is also something we think about with winter energy. You know what it feels like to be in the winter of your life. You know what it feels like to be in spiritual and emotional winter. And I feel like in the past, you've just helped people because you understand it. You're like, let me see if I can help you escape this thing. I know what this is like, and I don't want you to have to live here. To the point where you may have overly sacrificed yourself. And this is why I feel like you've been doing boundary work. And this has been part of that lesson, is how to still hold that love for, for humanity, that love for all people in juxtaposition with equal love for yourself, equal protection, equal boundary, equal energy given to yourself. And I feel like that's what a lot of you have been doing. I kind of want to just get some more information. Okay, well that was easy. Did I flip it? Yeah, okay, I do flip it. Let's see. Yeah, Four of Swords. You've been in this place of contemplation, consulting with your spirit guides, with ascended masters. You've been in this place of healing. Yeah, exactly. Five of Pentacles. Damn, 10 of Swords reversed. Are you guys okay? And the Sun reversed. Oh, I love you guys, because you know what this says to me? Through thick and thin, you will stick it out. You will be there with people. This is your energy, who you are. You will show up for people because you know how it feels to feel abandoned, right? Again, the winter of the world, spiritual and emotional winter. You know what it feels like to be stabbed in the back. You've gone through many dark nights of the soul. You've sat with people through their dark nights of the soul. You know what it feels like to be abandoned, to be left out, to be struggling. You know what it feels like to almost feel like the universe kind of forgot about your happiness, right? And this is why you try to help other people with this. You try to bring the sun to them, right? To melt this harsh winter. And I feel like for a lot of you with the sun here, there's this energy where it's like, I can bring the sun back at least a little bit. If I can bring the sun back a little tiny bit, I've done my part here. We have Leo, by the way, and Aries, Leo, Sag, I forgot to mention. Yeah, you guys are just little love bugs. Oh my God, I love you guys. So this is what I feel like you've been working on. Now I kind of want to pull to get more information, because again, with imagination, I feel like you're imagining what your life can be like if not fulfilling this role. So I want to pull some cards about that, right? A lot of you may have been really struggling if you're giving up this role of service, or you're just kind of putting it on the back burner. If you're giving up this kind of caretaking role, who am I? What do I do? And this may be very difficult because it's encoded in your DNA to want to help, but it's also about learning how to do so with healthy boundaries. Okay, Six of Wands reversed. Wow, Eight of Wands reversed. And Judgment. Yup. So you're having, this is like that life review energy. You're having a turning point, a pivotal moment. And it's really about looking at what you've done and being like, yep, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I showed up like that. But have I done it to the level where I'm not moving forward in my own life? I'm not accomplishing my own dreams. I'm not, nobody seems to be appreciating what I'm bringing to the table. I'm hearing people don't need me anymore. And so I feel like a lot of you are kind of in this place. What this test has been about has been really kind of bringing in this epiphany for you and letting you kind of think about and mull over how to make changes in your life. This is a turning point for you. So what your life can look like moving forward as you shift into a different role of spiritual service and a different part of your spiritual path. So I want to just kind of pull you guys a couple of cards of just like advice. Yeah, there you are, my Queen of Cups, Seven of Swords, reversed, and it's this card, but I can't get to it. Eight of Pentacles. Yep, okay. And the Chariots at the bottom. Wow, Cancer's energy here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Yeah, what your team really wants you to know, keep going. You have this intense emotional maturity, this empathic quality. You are mad psychic. You can connect with people's energy without even trying, right? And I feel like with the Seven of Swords reversed, kind of looking at her, you guys are now aware of the gift that this is, but also the amount this can leave you open to like psychic attack, to, you know, being drained by other people's energy. So what your guides really want to say with this Eight of Pentacles is that you're on the right path. Keep up the good work, you know, and just like know that this is a journey. This takes time, but you are making progress, and this will pay off significantly in the end. So I think that's just about everything I have for group 3. I hope this has been helpful. I'm proud of you guys. If you're looking for help with your specific situation, please feel free to check out my shop link in the description box below. I'm wishing you guys the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, my sweet little love bugs. Bye.